There, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to this month's Stretch the Sketch. Today I am using a sketch that is from Sketches in Time, and I apologize, but I couldn't read the person's name that's on it. It was kind of blurry. So it is from Sketches in Time, and I'm going to throw it up here in the right hand corner so that you can see it as I work. What I have decided to do is I'm using a whole bunch of horizon paper. I'm trying to finish documenting this Girl Scout trip that we did, river rafting and camping, and then we did a couple other side excursions like a cave tour, and we went down to the river and did some bouldering around on the rocks down there. But this particular layout is about a stop we made at one of my favorite ice cream shops in a little tiny town called Murphy's, and it's called the Peppermint Stick Ice Cream Shop. And they serve other food there as well, but that's what they're known for. So is their ice cream sundaes and stuff like that. So I started out with this pink paper, and I decided what I was going to do with the sketch was the left hand side is going to follow the sketch pretty much exactly, and then the right hand side, it is just flipped over in reverse. It's not upside down or anything, it's just the exact opposite of what's happening on the left hand side. So that big triangular piece is going to span both pages, and I did turn this into a 12 by 12 layout because I have 4 by 6 photos that I want on these pages, and 3 of them could not really be trimmed down much because it would have cut people out of the photo, so I didn't want to do that. And then I also ended up backing 2 cut files from Pear Tree Cut Files, and they are called Ice Cream Sundae. So if you go to the Pear Tree Cut File website and search on ice cream sundaes, it would come up with both of those in the same cut file. Now for this little piece, this gap between the purple and the red, I'm going to use a piece of ribbon, and in the sketch it doesn't really show any ribbon or anything like that. It just shows it as an additional pattern paper or something to that effect. And so I decided to go ahead and use some black and white ribbon to just create another layer of texture, basically. And I don't normally use red, pink, and purple together, but this red paper is from it's from a 6 by 6 paper pad from Simple Stories, and I only have a little bit of it. I only had 1 sheet, and so I needed to make it work. And those parts that are up at the top are going to be covered by the photos. So that little black triangle that is created by the 3 pieces of paper meeting together, you're not going to see it because the photos will be over it. But back to that red paper, I really wanted to use it because it almost exactly matches the wallpaper in this ice cream shop. It's like an old-time ice cream shop that has like the little wire chairs and tables and such, and it has like that red velvety wallpaper on it. And so yeah, that's why I wanted to use that. And if I put it too close to the pink, it kind of, I don't know, it was kind of glaring at you. But next to the purple, it wasn't so bad, and that purple is more of a periwinkle color. And I figure if the Red Hat Society can wear pink or purple and red together, why can't I put it on the layout? So that's what I did. And I actually like the way that it looks when it's all done. And I did use some of that paper to back the cherry in the smaller sundae or the shorter sundae. And then I also used it to create the drippy goo on the taller sundae. So when I put that one up there, you can see it there. And I was trying to figure out how to put my photos on there, and I didn't really want the sundaes both on the right hand side of each page. If I swapped the one that I'm working with right now, it would cover somebody's face. I don't mind if it covers the lower half of my body. That's fine. But I didn't want it to cover anybody's face. And then I thought that wafer, if it just kind of lined up with the body of the girl in the top photo, it would be okay. it's not covering anything. And that top photo was really the only one that I could trim down, because as you see, the other ones all have people in them almost all the way up to the edge, if not past the edge. And I'm just fiddling around a little bit with that Sunday on the right hand side because I didn't want to leave a little gap of black showing between the cherry, the photo, and the red paper there. So I was kind of like fiddling around with it, trying to get the placement just right so that the cherry covers it, but so that the Sunday is as low as possible on that photo, so you see more of the people. And like I said, that's me on the right hand side many years ago. These are from 2007, and so I don't mind that it's covering part of my body. In fact, I kind of like that it's covering part of my body, so yeah, that works out great. I ended up using some vellum to create the glassware of parts of the cut files. I wanted it a little bit translucent, just like a bowl would be, or a glass bowl would be, and so that's why I decided to use that vellum. And then I am cutting apart some of these little, I'm going to call them banner pieces. They're not really banners, but these little word strips. I'm looking through to see which ones have words that I think would work well on this, and I'm really down to very little ephemera left in this collection. So I actually was kind of struggling on what to do with it, and then I saw this 3x4 card, and I'm going to cut out the heart and use that because I knew that would work. And I don't really have, I think maybe but 2 or 3 florals left in that collection. And that heart just says favorite place, and this is one of my favorite places when we're up there, and it's one of my daughter and my niece's favorite places that we always try and stop in when we're in the area and get, you know, either ice cream or some kind of food while we're there. And then the little heart at the upper right side says love to travel, and I will have one little piece of floral piece to put with that. And then I never thought I was going to use that little table and chairs from this collection, and you know what, it fits perfectly with this particular layout. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually use that. I did pull out the little there's like a little mercantile type piece as well, or storefront, and it was in that purple color. It would have matched, but it was too blocky for this layout, so I decided not to use it. And then I cut out the words peppermint stick on my silhouette, and I like how that looks. And then in these silver glitter thickers, I am going to put ice cream shop underneath it, and it's going to span both pages and kind of bring the 2 pages together. So I like how that's working. I decided out of the little pieces that I had left of that big red, or that little red paper, I just hand cut some hearts as large as I could out of the paper, and I just used the fold it in half technique and cut one half of the heart, and then you open it up like you did when you were in school. And I'm using those as kind of the placeholder for the embellishments that are at the bottom of the sundaes. And so I like how that is. I actually did try pulling those up into the other areas as well. I had 2 tiny hearts that were red, but when I pulled them up to the other 2 areas that are getting embellishments, the red really just clashed badly with that pink. It didn't look good at all. So I kind of kept all of the red embellishing down below. I did pull in some pink in those areas as well, and it looks fine because the pink is minimal. But when I put the red on top of the, you know, pink paper, it was just too much. It was overpowering. And the little pieces that I've pulled in there that I chose to use out of those word strips, one says loving this, one says everything's good, or everything good. And so I like that. I'm going to end up using those, and they're going to be popped up onto foam with the hearts popped up onto foam as well, just to give a little added dimension. I don't have the sundaes popped up onto foam or anything like that. And you can see there that I pulled in some labels and they are turned on their side. I don't mind that. The journaling will go into that area and it works out just fine for me. And I don't do that on camera, but those were just stamped with the Stamp Market stamps, so you can stamp them in any color. And I really like that because it gives you a lot of options, and I could pull in the pink into multiple places. And then, like I said, I had that little floral, which I didn't have a whole lot of florals left, so I was really glad to get that little one on there. And by putting that floral piece on the upper left corner of the right hand page, it brought in more of that periwinkle. So then I decided to bring in this little periwinkle strip underneath the pink heart on the left hand page, and it says the best yet. And then I do find a stamp. You can see it on the sticker sheet on the right hand side. There's a periwinkle stamp there, and I'm going to tuck that in behind that heart as well. And then this little heart, flourish, that was really hard to say. I decided to just stick that onto the label that's on the left hand page, and then I will put one there on the heart just to kind of bring a little more continuity across and bring those colors in to those areas. And then I threw that other little butterfly, I'm going to say it's a butterfly, into the right hand side to add a little more periwinkle on that side just to kind of bring the colors across. Now while I'm working on this, let me just tell you a little bit about Stretch the Sketch if you have not seen it before. This is a monthly hop that we do the third Sunday of the month. There's several of us that play along each month, and the links for everybody will be down below. And what we do is we take a 12 by 12 sketch and we stretch it or shrink it to some other size and use it, so you will have a lot of inspiration on how to adjust the sketch that we choose to fit your needs, whether it be double page layout or 9 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 or traveler's notebook, cards. It could be pretty much anything. There's only been a couple of cards done over the last 2 years. We've been doing this for 2 years, so there's not a lot of those, but there are several other sizes, 6 by 8, lots of inspiration, and each month we use a different sketch, and we all pretty much use the same sketch each month. I think there's a couple of times where we have all used different sketches. So hopefully you enjoy that, and it gives you some ideas on how to adjust the sketch for your needs. And I'm pretty much staying true to the sketch here, with the exception of I did not use one of the photos. I ended up using a cut file in its place, and I didn't use any journaling strips up in the upper right hand corner. But otherwise it's pretty much the same. I have added some little puffy sundaes to each of my embellishment areas, and those I think are just Recollections or something. They're either Recollections or maybe the Hobby Lobby brand, I'm not really sure. But I'm adding a little glue to make sure they stay on my layout, and then I'm going to add some little tiny white puffy hearts to each of those embellishment areas, and that's pretty much going to do it. So thank you for watching. I hope you go and check out all of the other ladies below, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those for me. I get back to you as quickly as I can. It's not always right away, but I do read my comments and I do respond. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. And if you are a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. Here come the close-ups. Bye.